So it's Friday, and it's time to talk about another board game. This time we're going to Maestro and Wildbrain's creation of the World of Strawberry Shortcake. This is the Berry Besties Bake-Off card game. This is a 15 to 25 minute game, plays 2 to 6 players. It's designed for ages 8 and up. Let's open this up and talk a little bit more about it. Strawberry Shortcake was a huge IP when I was a child. They are trying to do a lot more things with it these days to get it back out there, but it's a very wholesome brand. Robot Chicken not too long ago made it a little bit more interesting than that, but it still is an incredibly cute, sweet, just wholesome company. So you got a little silicate packet in here, so make sure you toss that properly so you don't have a cat or animal or loved one eat that. And then you got a manual right here. You got the actual box with some really nice print on it. They give you, it looks like a couple of stickers for Strawberry Shortcake. Nice little card there from them. And then we have the actual cards. So in the deck, you should have a number of shortcake cards, some reference cards, and recipe cards. As you can see here, these are the shortbread cards. On the cards, you have characters, you have borders, and then you have icons. You also have point values on the top left. We'll get into that in a second. You can see the point values do go really high as you go up to like 70, 92, and so on and so forth, all the way to 104. So at the start of the game, you're going to give every player a reference card so they know how to play the game. And you're going to shuffle up the recipe cards and give every player in secret a recipe card. So this one specifically says, have a card in the right column of value 35 or lower. So as long as you have a card of 35 or lower in the right column of your shortcake, you are going to be fine. You get that extra points for the recipe. Players, after they shuffle up the deck, let's see if these will shuffle. I don't like it 'cause it bends them. So you're going to set up a center row of cards. Now these are going to be built off depending on how many players are in the game. For a 4-player game, it'll be 5 cards. So you set these up on the table. Then all players will draw 4 cards. Put this here. Each player has to look at their cards, and they're going to choose one card that they're going to place face down in a bid. What this means is this card is going to be held here specifically to be used not for building your shortbread cake, but specifically for claiming a card. All players then reveal theirs, and the player with the lowest point value gets to draw first. So they're going to definitely want to take that and then add it to their shortcake. I would take this one right here, the 103, and I will add that to my shortcake. Then all the cards from the center that were not picked, keep in mind of the 4-player game there'd only be one, get discarded. And the bidding cards get added to the center to make up the new pot. So from here, you just set the shortcake down. There's not a lot really you do. You just set it there in your area. Now, it represents the center of your shortbread cake or wherever you're building off of. You can't have your cards be more than 4 width and 4 tall. And at the end of the whole game, you're going to have 16 cards total. So on the next round, you're going to pick another card that you're going to want to bid. And then it's revealed. The lowest value card gets to go first. The way this works is that when you place a card into your shortbread, it has to match the borders, the type, or the characters. If it doesn't, you can just place it anywhere. They're gonna choose. Now, we are still technically in the first round of the game. You'll see what I mean in a second. Some cards will have multiple characters in them, but the biggest important thing you want to do is you want to try to build multiple characters in the same row, because you get extra points depending on how many of the same characters, how many of the same icon are in there, how many of the same border. You flip over the third one. Of course, they go first. They'll pick that, placing it in their one. And I will take this one and place it here. The fourth and last card that you have in your hand at the end of the round does not get blind bid at all. It just gets placed in your cake wherever you in theory can. And then play starts over again, identical to the last play. You set up your center. Players will draw 4 cards, and then you'll start again, blind bidding. So you reveal 30-21. I get to start. Now I have a choice here. I can take a card that I know I have on my sheet. It's not going to be very good point value, but it will help me out with my groupings, give me extra points that way. Or I can choose to take a more valuable card that will not match up and give me extra points in that way. But if I do take this card, the benefit with it is that it will not go in the dog collection that they've got over there. So I might do that. Take this one. And I have to match it with a icon, a border, or a character. I'm matching it with the cake. Seems pretty straightforward. And then from this point forward, they take theirs, which they'll take this one and get a double match. So we're going to speed up the process and add these. All right, so let's just go through the pointing system real quick just to cover what this would be worth in the game. So you're going to look at the row. If you have any matching characters or icons, that is going to be a point system. So in this row, we have no matching icons and no matching characters. So there's 0 taste points in this row specifically here. The next row, we have 2 matching strawberries, and that's it. So that's going to be a total of 2 points so far we've added to our collection. So looking at the way we value this, it works in the fact that when you have characters in a row that match, those are extra points. Character icons that match in a column are extra points. So starting this off right away, we have 3 balloons. 3 balloons is 3 matching icons in a column. That's going to be 5 points. On this one here, we have 2 cakes. That's going to be a total of set of 2 equals 2 points. So now that equals 7 points. Here we have 2 strawberries and 2 cakes. So that is going to be 2 points each of those. That's 4. So that adds us to 11. Here we have 2 cupcakes, and that's going to make a total of 2 points from that. So now that puts us up to 13. Next, we go by characters. There's no characters matching here, none here. We have 2 matching here, which gives us a total of 2 on top of that. So we're looking at 15 points total for the way it sets up, but we also have our recipe card, which we did match by having a character of 35 or lower in the right column, makes us getting an additional 4 points. So our total for the game equals 19. Now, if you know better about the fact that the icons matching and the characters matching, you can really kind of plan out your cards. I was kind of just grabbing them to kind of build up the things so you can see it a little bit faster, but you can really build up some really good recipes for your shortcakes with this game. And you can even play the game with, I believe it says up to 6 players, and they do have a different rule set specifically for 2 players. So there's lots of ways you can play this game and have a lot of fun with it. And again, if you are maybe a parent who knows about Strawberry Shortcake as a child and you want to get your child interested in the cute art of these characters, you can definitely do that. They do kind of remind me a little bit of like Hummel figures, at least in their design, but it's just really cutesy, and it's a very simple game about just matching colors, shapes, and characters and trying to get those extra points and trying to build your roadmap while also blind betting for cards on the table. Well, hopefully you guys found this interesting. Hopefully you guys pick this up for you and your family, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.